afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, June 9th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. How do we stop worrying and start trusting? You cannot be happy with a serious mind. You can't be happy with a serious mind. With a festive mind, you can be happy. Take this whole life as a myth, as a story. It is one. But once you take it this way, you will not be unhappy. Also, whenever you don't allow yourself to trust the progress of this life, when you don't allow yourself, you tend to cling to it all along the way. Worrying is the mind attempting to not create what it doesn't want by obsessing about what it doesn't have or want. This unconscious spin cycle is exactly how you manifest more of what you don't want, and is one of the greatest ways to drain your manifesting vibration. If you always think about what you don't want to happen, how much energy is left to focus on what you do want to happen? And I don't believe this is I just don't believe it's conscious. I believe it's unconscious. That we spend so much of our time, and I've been in the presence of people, and you could really tell when they say what they don't want, and they really, with a lot of energy and power, deliver it. Now, you may have noticed that your mind can become fixated on certain thought patterns and get wrapped around one little idea about what it doesn't want to occur. It unconsciously creates this repetitive, mini-futuristic fear that we often refer to as worrying. The mind tends to obsess, dwell, and get hooked into whatever it thinks it has to have to be happy, loved, free, important, rich, etc. It especially becomes wrapped around those things it believes it cannot have. So, if your mind naturally is an obsessaholic, why not fixate it on feeling what it's like to manifest your dream life? In other words, you're switching directions. Being caught in the worry habit is a lot like a couch potato stuck in the deepest crevice of the couch. They are watching some completely ridiculous rerun on TV, yet cannot find the motivation, desire, or creativity to get out of their cozy sinkhole and do anything new or different. The worried mindset can suck you into its hypnotic inner TV and entertain you for hours, days, years, even lifetimes. It feeds on your fear that if you let go of control, stop clinging and start trusting life, then the worst possible thing that you don't want to happen will suddenly happen. The worried mindset can suck you into its hypnotic inner TV and entertain you for hours, days, years, and even lifetimes. It feeds on your fear that if you let go of control, stop clinging, and start trusting this life, then the worst possible thing that you don't want to happen will suddenly happen. This is the mind. The truth is that clinging to anything in this life just perpetuates the manifestation of more stagnation and causes a deeper anxiety to take root inside of us. The only way out is to let go and trust the divine intelligence within life. Now, once we do this, we will be free to feel everything that arises from a place of non-attachment and instantly shift our vibrations to being completely worry-free. Now, we can easily create anything we want in this life with trust. Now, most of us don't have that trust. When we deeply trust that all of our dreams will manifest at the perfect time, they simply do. I'm not talking about attachment. I'm not talking about attachment to outcome. I'm not talking about expectations. Just knowing that all of our desires will manifest at the perfect time. They simply do. Timing is everything. It's everything for our souls. When we let go of our ego's agenda, we realize there was nothing to worry about in the first place. Everything is always taken care of in our lives. The soul has a much bigger plan. All that it takes is going within and allowing the universe to support you in making your every desire blossom into reality. The more you go inside and access the infinite divine consciousness that each of us, all of us truly are, the easier it is to naturally live from a state of trust. As we continue to explore our divine nature and dive deeper into the truth of who and what we truly are, we will start to feel greater waves of trust wash over and through us. It is impossible for us to worry when we remember that we are infinite timeless beings, because we know that nothing outside of us can hurt or impact us negatively. Trust is inherently a natural part of us. We were born to trust. As babies, that is all that we knew how to do. Remember? As babies, we trusted on everything. We don't know doubt or worry. We didn't know it as babies. The most primal parts of ourself always trusted what was happening and knew that everything was perfect. It was only when our ego minds started claiming the kingdom that we started falling prey to the illusions of worry. You remember when you were a kid? You remember the time when you didn't worry about anything? Right now in our lives, what is the thing that we spend the most time worrying about? Right in this now. Decide right now to shift from worrying about this issue to completely trusting. Each time you find yourself worrying about this particular issue, simply notice where this experience is occurring between your ears and relax. Notice how perfect the present moment is and how there is really nothing to worry about. Be aware of the worry habit, yet don't buy into it. Be aware of it. Don't buy into it. Don't get sucked into it. It is one of the most overlooked destructive habits that leak our precious energy away from enjoying life and living out our mission. What causes worry to happen in the first place is that the mind simply lacks mental discipline, intention, and focus. Imagine that the worrying mindset is like a herd of wild, untrained horses running out of control in a small, tight corral. The more undisciplined these horses are, the more frustrated they become in the corral. The problem here is not that these crazy horses are galloping everywhere out of fear. The real issue is that you choose to follow them. When the reins on the mind are too tight or too loose, this herd will not listen and trample all over you. They'll stomp all over your feelings, your desires, relationships, and leave your life's dreams far behind in the dust. The only way is to lasso the entire herd, teach them to become more conscious. The golden key to consciousness is trust. If you have been wrestling with your inner herd for years, you may feel defeated and have become a worry zombie. This is someone who is numb to lighter thoughts, abundant consciousness, and outrageous pleasure. Numb to it. You know anybody like that? If you have been wrestling with your inner herd for years, you may feel defeated and have become a worry zombie. This is someone who is numb to lighter thoughts, abundant consciousness, and outrageous pleasure. If this sounds at all like you, it's time to take that first step out of the zombie zone, lasso the herd's stallion, grab onto the reins. Steer your herd back out into the pleasure pastures so that they can relax into the positive feelings and thoughts that make your heart sing. When your horses drink one gulp from the river of bliss or gallop through the fields of gold, you'll win their respect. You will win their respect. When your horses drink one gulp from the river of bliss and gallop through the fields of gold, you will win their respect and be free from your inner worry corral forever. To get your horses into the pleasure pastures, you'll need to take them through the trust stable. Here is where you'll harness trusting reins over your entire herd. First, let them know we are all heading off to the trust stable. Let them know that they don't have a choice in the matter. Steer each thought one by one out of the worry corral and into the trust stable and gently groom them. Give them all the love and attention they deserve. Close the worry gate behind you and do not open them again. After you get every wild beast in the trust stable, you will soon be entering the expansive, free, open pleasures, pastures beyond. Spend as much time as you can each day caressing everyone in your trust stable. This will be your new home and will empower you from slipping back into the worry corral in the future. There is no room for the vibration of worry when you are bathing every beastly thought with trusting feelings. Trust is the exact opposite for anyone to enter the worry corral again. All the thoughts that you had about tomorrow or yesterday don't become so important. You simply trust each moment of existence, consistently letting go of ideas about the future and the past. In your trust stable, you are relaxing into the perfection of each thought, reconnecting each one with its true infinite nature. Whisper to your horses. It'll help you feel the trusting connection with your herd. Every day that you abide in your trust stable, you'll gather more trusting energy until everyone can trot around the pleasure pastures freely all day long. In this field of joyous energy, your whole vibration will go beyond having another worried thought again. Even after you've entered your pleasure pasture, many times continuously return to your trust stable. After enough time resting there, your herd will start offering its many gifts of gratitude to you. One of the greatest gifts you'll receive is knowing that this universe is always supporting you and manifesting whatever your heart deeply desires. Through trust, you tap into your natural manifesting power. Whatever you focus on is where your herd pulls together and works towards manifesting. When you live with trust as the core foundational energy in your heart, where every thought you think comes from the source of trust, then you'll become unstoppable in your life. When you are fully committed to starting each of your days in your trust stable, you will naturally realize the powerful manifesting being that you are. Life will simply become easier for you. You have taken back the reins. You will see and feel how ludicrous it was to worry about anything at all. There will be more peace, love, and abundance discovered and felt everywhere you saunter. So there's 3 powerful techniques that will train your horses and transform your life forever. Number 1, practice stopping your herd. Start with making the choice to get your wild horses under control. Let them know they are no longer in charge. The easiest way to start this training is with a pattern interrupt, like saying stop or whoa to these horses the very instant they take off into the worry corral. It's best to whisper this out loud to yourself if possible in order to really grab their attention. By using anger or aggression, they may become more feisty and rebellious. Yet with gentleness, you will actually command your entire inner herd. This is the secret to becoming a true horse whisperer: loving kindness and gentleness. Use this technique, and these horses will perk their ears up and listen. The softer, more loving and gentle your whisper is, the more they want to pay attention. This more loving and gentle, remember, the more loving and gentle your whisper is, the more they want to pay attention. This is what they were running around worried about not finding in the first place. They were always in search of true security and love. You can give it to them with a sweet, calming voice and trust in your heart. Even if you stop one wild horse in one situation for one moment, you are successful. Soon the rest will follow, and you will have stopped them from trampling all over your life. And number 2, entice your herd to relax into the now. On some lazy afternoon, you can lure your horses out for a cool drink in the relaxing stream of consciousness. Simply go for a nice slow stroll, so as to bring them into the present moment. By focusing everyone upon what is now, you will help your inner horses to unwind, take a breather, and rest in the pleasure pastures with the cozy green grass beneath their bellies. They naturally love enjoying the peace and sublime perfection of this glorious moment of existence. So guide them into it. When they get truly curious about the levels of enjoyment that are available in this divine moment, they will stop prancing around and become relaxed and at ease. A great technique to create curiosity is asking questions like, what is really happening in the universe right now? When they stop to ponder this question, check in with your experience. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What am I experiencing now? What do I see, hear, smell, taste, and sense right now? Anytime an overly mental or emotional horse begins to wander away, gently redirect it back to the experience of resting in this cozy present moment. Turn up the heat in your stable. Make time every day to go inside and turn up your trust value so that it's impossible not to feel it. Increase the levels of trust around specific issues in your life that challenge you the most. Sometimes it's about cranking up the heat and sweating out the old toxic emotions until there is nothing left. Allow your mind to focus on the energy of trust as much as possible. Imagine how you could trust yourself in the worst possible circumstances. Apply this to your personal life and relationships. And soon, the heat inside your trust stable will be as sweet and easy as a warm, cozy campfire. Every morning, take 5 minutes to do this exercise before you get out of bed. Take 5 minutes again at the end of your day. That's only 10 minutes. Imagine that you have a trust thermostat, in the middle of your chest that measures how much you trust yourself and other people. And this highly intelligent universe, the thermostat has 10 settings on it. The number 10 is the most trusting level, and the number 1 setting is completely closed and lacking trust. Get a sense right now of where your trust is at right now. You may notice on your thermostat is a trust dial where you can adjust the level of trust your body experiences. Slowly begin to open your trust valve. Let in more and more trust. Turn it up until you feel warm, expansive feelings on the inside and outside your heart. Notice what happens when you increase the level of trust in your heart, what happens all throughout your body. No matter how long it takes you, keep increasing your trust meter until it is completely open at a perfect 10. Inhale and exhale at 100% trust many times and notice what this feels like. Pay attention to how good it is to let go of controlling your outer world and trusting that the universe, this universe, is helping you manifest all your desires now and forever. Then randomly throughout the day, check in with your trust meter and adjust to 100% anytime it drops. If your trust valve gets stuck at a lower level, try repeating this trust mantra for 15 minutes while breathing deeply. Trusting myself and the loving universe. Trusting myself and the loving universe. Repeating this message over and over and over will eventually expand your heart to experience a greater level of trust. So enjoy. Trusting myself and loving universe and the loving universe. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies. Most of us, we don't relax the bodies. Because why? Because we worry about incessant things. So how do we relax the body? What do? We relax the body through the breath. The breath is magical. It is omnipotently powerful. We, the gods, enter these bodies, power up these bodies, and in many ways, we produce the breath for the body. Take in oxygen, let out carbon dioxide. And when we do this, have you ever noticed that, if a child gets upset, a lot of times you say, take a couple breaths, calm down, and, other people focus on their breath in exercise. They focus on their breath to concentrate. They focus on their breath to relax. In with the good, out with the bad. In with the good, out with the bad. It's just a movement that kind of identifies. When you use the breath, easy and slowly in through the nose and easy and slowly out through the mouth, the body lets go. The body's like this super magnetic sponge, and it absorbs everything. Now, it does not mean that we're all consciously aware of what it absorbs. Some of the things. But we don't follow the absorption, see? And we all store this throughout our lives. We store it in the body. Could be anywhere. Neck, throat, your glutes, your lower back, your hands, your fingers, your head, your eyes, your mouth, your ears. I mean, we store it. Everybody stores it differently. Where does it go? It stays there. Stays there and stays there. And we add more. See, eventually, some of us will collect so much, store so much, that we have an organic biological breakdown somewhere with the body. So through the breath, we relax and release. Relax, release. When you let go, everything falls away. Now, I'm not saying that for some that that's real easy to do, because we get in the habit of holding on, gripping tightly, not letting go. Even when you say, well, I've let go, you really haven't. You feel a shift through the heart of letting go. All of this stuff that we collect through this life disappears, drops away. And trusting in ourselves and in oneself is paramount. I don't mean little trust, see. I'm talking about emphatic, absolute, pure trust in ourselves. So as we relax the body and it lets go, and you know when it lets go, your shoulders drop. You feel you become decompressed. And you have that kind of a light feeling in your heart when everything kind of lets go. The body kind of lets go, drops. And see, when we do that, we also, with our breath, move into the now. The now really is all we have. And like I've said numerous of times, none of us, without a shadow of a doubt, can honestly say that we're going to wake up tomorrow morning. We can't guarantee that. So we live in the now. Not yesterday and not tomorrow. Always in the now. Not easy to do for many. But the breath helps immensely. The breath is super powerful. So every time you're focused on your breath, you listen to your breathing, you're in the now. Every time. 3,000% of the time, which is every time. Now, it's always good to practice what? Being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with oneself. Being in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude. Being in gratitude all the time opens the gates to the journey within, and and then meeting the God that you are within. Gratitude. Does it make any sense for us? And we get this again. It's a habit. When you get irritated, right? Could be anything. Could be anything. Could be a bump, stub the toe, whatever. And it just seems to cascade. It falls down, and then you become more irritable. And you become more frustrated. And the littlest things bug you. And then you say, what am I doing? Why would I spend my energy in these lower frequencies? I trust myself implicitly. So I'm going to take that energy and put it in the opposite direction, into joy and happiness for myself, being gentle, kind, and generous, and humble with myself. I don't care to bring myself, allow myself, through the mind, through the ego mind, to control me and take me into these lower frequencies. You see how trust begins to play a very, very, very powerful role with all of us? once you take that path to the low frequencies, right? Whatever sparked it. And someone may say to you, do you really want to spend your energies on those lower frequencies? You may get more angry about that and slip even further into the goop. And it's practice. It's trust in oneself. Implicit trust. Letting go. Stop trying to control everything, because that's the ego mind. That's like the reins on a horse. You ever been on a horse? You pull back on those reins. Now, being in the now, we still the mind and ego and the subconscious mind. That means that we leave them alone. We do not participate in them. No, we watch them, see. We don't judge them. We watch them so we learn how to manage them, how to supervise them, how to be in charge of them. We just watch how they operate. And this comes out when you have an ego thought, and you know it. You go, that's an ego thought. You address it, and it disappears. And you'll have other things that are ego thoughts. You'll address it. You'll know. Wait a minute, I'm going into an ego thought. I don't care to. And so you give it a big fat hug and it disappears. So we still that interaction. We're only in the now. See, because each of us put out, every 24 hours, it's nonstop, over 60,000 thoughts apiece. Now, it doesn't mean we know every single thought that we put out to the universe. That's why our lives we have things happen, things come in that we go, where the heck did that come from? You. See? And you go, why would I send that out? You ask yourself, why would I send that out? That's interesting. What am I learning from this? We also have these endless, and I call it, they're actually programs, but some people call them thoughts, that fly by like clouds in the sky, that nonstop, tens of millions and billions of them. They're not our thoughts, by the way, and they're programs, but, you're in the now, and none of us are exempt from this. It isn't a bad thing. And we just float off somewhere else. We just, boom. You ever been talking to somebody, okay, and you leave, so to speak. You're somewhere else. And they're talking with you about something, and you kind of feel like an echo, but you're not really there, so you're not listening. But you look like you're listening, and you float off. And then they say, what do you think about that? And you're back there, right? You're back. And you look at them and go, holy cow, I don't remember. I didn't listen to a word they told me. Some people try to fake it, right? They say, could you say that again? I've done that. You fold out. You float off. But every time you float off, you focus on the breath. And the breath, every single time, will bring you into the now. You'll be back center. Now, picture yourself standing. There's three paths, right? You're in center path, the now. To your left is yesterday, the past. To your right is tomorrow, the future. Now you notice that the trees have formed a golden canopy over these paths, shimmering leaves and branches and bark. You'll notice that each path has a vibrant, brilliant, emerald green flaming grass. It appears to be grass. And you notice there is a difference between these three paths. Yesterday's path, the past, is very worn. It's been used a lot. Tomorrow's path, the future, is very worn. It's been used a lot. The now path that you're standing on looks almost brand new. The reason this is because the ego mind, your your herd of horses, doesn't want you to be in the now. Excuse me. It doesn't want you to be in the now. Because it doesn't exist in the now. So you can see what goes on with all of us. It'll pull us, get us distracted. Remember, your herd of horses. Start running around the corral and acting crazy. So it's going to do everything it can to either keep you into tomorrow, the future, or yesterday, the past. And this is where we all suffer. Now, we all reminisce. You know, something sparks it, or conversation, or driving somewhere, or traveling somewhere, or just sitting, and it comes over you. And we reminisce, and we go through things, and boy, that was so fun. I really enjoyed that. Everything fell into place. I'd love to do that again. And we also use the past as a reference to help us in the now. In other words, we will say, you know, I did that. When I did that so many years ago, the approach I used didn't work. But now I've learned more, so I think I'll try it a different way to see if that works. Now, we all have a great hall, if you will. Great hall is our subconscious mind. Now, once you understand this, it copies everything. Now, it doesn't mean that you're aware of it copying it, but you kind of get the idea, as the God that you are in that body, that the subconscious mind is your database. It stores everything. It copies everything. And not only that, but at times it plays it back. You ever notice that you've relived things that seems really familiar? That I did this before. I'm doing it again. But it's knowing these things. It's knowing that. It's knowing what the subconscious mind's function is. So we'll go into our great hall. We'll open the door. We'll turn on the light. And you know, whether you know it or not, when you walk into a room, your eyes really quickly, they scan the ceiling and the walls. You look around. It's just automatic. Your head's not looking at the floor. Okay? But in your great hall, you don't see any walls. It's so large, it's so vast. You don't see any ceilings. But you'll go to the drawers and the shelves, and you'll pick out some movies and some books and some pictures. And you'll go sit in the easy chair, and right in front of you is this floating screen. Now, you'll watch some of the movies. You'll read some of the books, and you'll look at some of the pictures. You'll reminisce, have a great time. But you don't stay there. You get up, you put everything in its proper place, turn off lights, shut the door, and move forward in life. And on occasion, revisit. But some of us we'll stay so long there in the Great Hall that we'll end up bringing that past into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, relive that past and that future. This is why people will say no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Now, we all are poked and prodded into where? Tomorrow. The future. Who's poking us, pushing us, and prodding us? The ego mind. You ever get hurried? Do you ever feel hurried? Okay? It's like you're under this pressure. You got to get things done. You're running late, and everything's rushed. It doesn't feel good at all. It's not a natural state. And so there's times where you get frustrated, and none of us are exempt from it. And you say, I want to know what's going to be happening here. I want to know. I want to know when I'm going to have enough money to enjoy my life. I want to know when I'm going to be able to get a better home, car, vehicle. I want to know when I'm going to meet my lifelong romantic partner. All these things. So we will go into the future. We'll take that future path, the tomorrow path, right? And we seek external authority to tell us what's going to happen. You know? And there's a lot of it. There's astrologers. There's card readers. There's palm readers, tea leaf readers. There's pendulums. There's all kinds of things. Clairvoyance, psychics, all kinds of things. And we take it in. You say, well, okay, well, John Smith, a month from now, you're going to experience a windfall of money out of the clear blue. John Smith says, wow, I could sure use it. And it comes out of the clear blue. And then John Smith said, he wants to get more in detail. Well, how is that going to happen? A windfall. It's out of the clear blue. You aren't concerned how it's going to happen. You aren't concerned exact day when. Those are attachments to the outcome, okay, and expectations. As soon as you engage those, it means that you don't trust yourself or the universe. So as soon as you engage those thoughts, it's not going to happen. I'll guarantee it. It won't happen. But you embrace it. You say, this is great. The universe has got my back on this. I fully trust myself. I'm good. Period. Done. Okay? See, when you start training yourself that way, you become more aware, right? And now? So what happens is you practice this, and then eventually it's automatic. Remember, subconscious records all this, plays it back. So what does that tell you? Well, if you're in doubt and you don't trust yourself, what's that going to do? The subconscious mind's going to play it back to the universe. The universe is going to say, okay, they don't want it, it's not coming. It's not going to come. And then the times you say to yourself that you don't want something, and you get it. It's all about you. It is. It's all about you. It's the trust that you embrace with yourself. It's the trust that you have in the universe. Period. And in the now, there's no attachments. There's no expectations. There's none of that. Doesn't happen. And there's no suffering. So we have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are asleep. Stone cold asleep. Then there's parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are awake. Consciously aware. Consciously aware means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Now, we deeply love the parts, the gods that we are, the parts that are asleep, as much as we do the ones that are awake. Now, none of us, and I'm not talking about the bodies, I'm talking about the gods within the bodies that we truly are, none of us are separate. We're all one. We're all pieces, right? Gods that are experiencing a plethora of things. All kind of different in different ways. Like little tiny mirrors reflecting to each other, from each other. And that's what we do. And we're always learning. We choose to. So 9,000 billion light years away, all the physical forms that the gods are in are part of us. All of the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials, they're in physical form. The gods within them are part of us. Separation is a big illusion because we have bodies. We're in bodies, right? So, Pleiadians are separate from us. Arcturians, Andromedans, they're all separate from us. They're not. Okay? We're all one. All the universes are one. Okay? How many universes are there? It's unending. How many cells in our body? Trillions. And we're all one. Most of us just don't know that. And the mind is too small to even comprehend it. But it's like, the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yeshua. We're all one. The gods within us. They're not inhabiting physical forms. They're God. Pure consciousness. That's what's inside of each of us. There's no separation. It's like when I say we're all Buddhas. The God within Siddhartha is no different than the God within each and every one of us. The God that was in Maitreya, no different than the gods within each and every one of us. It's the illusion of separation that fools us, keeps us in the material physical world, and not with the God within us, of that which we truly are. So we're all focused on this planet. It's complete liberation into a God planet paradise. This is happening. Now, to some, because they choose to be in the movie, they can't see that. They see all the doom and gloom. They're in the movie. However, there are some of us that are outside the movie. Every once in a while, we step in a mud puddle, we pull it out, but we're outside the movie. We see the whole picture. So we liberate the planet, the gods that we are. Collective consciousness. We're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Continues to grow, intensify, and expand. Now we form a massive white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the gods within each and every one of us. Pure, deep, eternal love. Highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. And this planet is being saturated, permeated, and flooded with it 24/7, infinity and beyond. On it, in it, above it, below it. And there's no escape. Now, we begin to ascend. We start to move up above the planet. As we do, we're met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's not like an ocean of glitter you depict on this planet. So we take things that we're familiar with to describe it. Grand finale fireworks display, and laser light show, and a ballroom globe, the mirror globe that reflects light, floods the room when you shine light upon it. Except all of these are intensified a trillion times. And we combine them into one massive crescendo, and a massive burst of multicolored, brilliant light. And that's about as near as we get to describing the ocean of glitter. Now, we seek out the reflective points, which are everywhere, and we notice these little tiny microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors. They appear to be, and we enter them. And we discover that all of us are learning and teaching each other all the time, infinity and beyond. It's just that a lot of us are immersed in the physical material world outside of ourselves, and we just created this for entertainment. It's not something to be, it's something to enjoy, but not be in it. So we miss the things. It's like you look at a tree and you say, well, it's, again, the illusion of separation. We look at a tree and say the tree is separate from me. But it's actually the opposite. The God within the tree is part of the God within you in that body. And the God decided to enter that tree to experience the life of the tree, to experience it. Not all of us enter physical form. Not all of us enter humanoid form. And you remember when you were a kid? A lot of us did this. You would look at something, you say, I wonder what it'd be like to be that. I remember one time saying I was a little kid and I looked at a car and go, I wonder what it'd be like to be the car. Or to be that dog, or to be that bird, and you look up in the sky and you see a bird flying by. What would it be like to be that bird? And the way, see, when you're tuned to that because you're in the now, and you're with your breath, and your herd is relaxed, and you have deep trust within yourself and the universe, then you look and you see what they're teaching you. We're always teaching each other, always. You either choose to learn or not, or ignore it. Our pets teach us things. Bug in a rug, spider in a web. Cloud in the sky, horse, moose, cow, you name it. Now, when you want to really know what it's like to be something, that you're looking at, and you're focused, but you're in the now, and you say, okay, I'm going to look at that, whatever it is. And for a moment, you'll know exactly what it's like to be it. Now, we're met with columns of light, right? We, the gods in these bodies, create these columns of light. Now, Archangel Raphael, he carries an emerald green flaming healing light. We collectively created this light to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power healing the body. Then Archangel Michael, he carries a violet, blue, purple flaming light. We created this light to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we have the white fire light. We created this column of light to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected 24/7, infinity and beyond. This white fire armor, nothing like on this planet, emanates from the gods that we are within the body. It is pure, deep, eternal love. It is impenetrable by lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. They don't come around us when we're holding that frequency. They know what'll happen, they'll vaporize. So they leave us alone. So we're always protected. No attachments, no demon possessions, none of that. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, fear, worry, stress, anxiety, revenge, dishonesty, manipulation, hurriedness, you will create a breach in your white fire armor enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies come flooding in. Then there's possibilities, demon possession, attachments, all kinds of things. Now, if you do decide to do this, we have fail-safes that we've created, the gods that we are. So you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. And this column of light, the first part of it is the purple transmuting flame. Now, this reminds us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survivor matter frequencies into neutral light substance. Send them to pure consciousness, where they're gone. Then we have the second part of this column of light, the violet ray. Violet ray reminds us that we can bring it in, right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We're then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we, the gods within these bodies, created to remind us all that we are the sun, the sunlight, the rain, the rainbows, the sun sets and the sun rises, clouds in the skies. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the trees, the forests, the soils, the animals. We're everything. Everything is us. Always have been. Always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. There's no separation. That's the illusion to overcome. Now, we're trained through the ego mind. So when we see a sunset, sunrise, starlit night sky, ocean front, we say, isn't that beautiful? That's spectacular. Look at that. And it is, because it's you, the God within that body. So through the heart-mind, we may see a sunset, a sunrise, or some form of vista, a rainbow. And we'll say, that is the God that I am. That's through the heart-mind, not the head, not the ego mind. And you'll feel the definite shift within your heart. Now, we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us, carrying physical forms, step out of that physical form and hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do it is, number one, we can, and number two, it's absolutely, phenomenally fun. We come into contact with a massive crystalline light tower. We, the gods in these bodies, created this tower, larger than the solar system and beyond. The center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere, and in the center of that sphere, we see a golden white bowl of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by multiple colored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. That creates a super bright white sparkling mist that immediately absorbs through our chest and through our heart minds. It feels like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, we discovered that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, and the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. Bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And then we discover that all of that is a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Now, at the top, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees. What is the golden ocean? Pure, deep, eternal love. And it floods this planet, infinity and beyond, as it's doing right now, permeating, saturating, flooding the planet. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe, on it, in it, above and below it. Now, we're drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops, drops of the golden ocean. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We all, the gods that we are, created this sphere. It holds nearly 1,900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Now, this sphere continues to strengthen and intensify and expand because we've been doing it for over 4 years, every day, 7 days a week, without fail. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world. The numbers are beyond that. Just to give everybody an idea, on and off world, we're all one. We're all one throughout existence. We're focused on the liberation of this planet. All lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, all the pure corrupted evil, all of the corrupted souls, they are being vanished through higher vibrational frequencies. There's no escape. This, so it is, so it shall be. Now, you can tap into what's going on the planet anytime you choose. Well, how do you do that? Focus on the breath, just like in this guided meditation. Relax the body, be in the now, and you'll see it through the heart-mind. You see all this goop literally leaving the planet, going upward. It's everywhere. It's the blackest of the blackest goop. It's lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, pure, evil, corrupted souls, all of it. The AI, rogue AI, all of its goop. We created the gods that we are in these bodies, an atmosphere that is a golden white pink. It's shimmering. It's like a aurora borealis, except it's everywhere. And this black goop is literally being vacuumed off the planet as it goes through this atmosphere. There's flashes because it's disintegrating through the atmosphere, the golden white pink light. The ceiling is the sky, which is golden white pink light, pure deep eternal love. And if any of it makes it to the sky, there's one massive flash and it's all gone. This is what's happening on this planet, on it, in it, above and below it. You can see it any time. We must always begin this life in the here and now. The moment is truly inescapable. Every time you try to escape from the now, you suffer and are immediately tossed back into it with the feeling that you had some significant or insignificant experience of a past or future event. You call that fun? Me neither. Always remember, be here now because you are. Stop believing in who you think you are and just take 1 hour today to do nothing. Just relax into your body. Be with whatever energy arises during the time. See what all is happening inside you today. Relax, rest. Give yourself permission to do absolutely nothing. And very soon, you will discover, all of us will, something truly amazing. The awesome divine being who we all truly are. I'll join you in a meditation, and I'll return to close us out. take an easy, slow breath in through the nose and an easy, slow breath out through the mouth. Be still. Sometime today, take 45 minutes to rest deeply inside yourself, to the very core of your own presence. Remain there as long as possible and let it rejuvenate every cell in your body-mind. It is from this space that we will understand how we are the center of all creation and exactly how to manifest everything we want. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here June 10th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, Friday. We continue our global guided meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call.